Summing up. A. International system of units. Quantities that can be measured are called physical quantities. There are 7 fundamental or base quantities. All other quantities are derived quantities. Each of the base quantities has a corresponding unit of measure, a combination of which provide the units of measure for the derived quantities. Each unit of measure is expressed with a specific symbol and prefix. Accurate measurement is fundamental to experimental science, such that results can be verified and repeated. B. Intensive and extensive quantities. Extensive quantities depend on the system's size. Intensive quantities do not depend on the system's size. Examples of extensive quantities are length, volume, mass, and weight. Examples of intensive quantities are density, specific weight, the boiling point, and the melting point. Mass and weight should not be confused. Although the weight of an astronaut on the Earth, in space, and on the Moon varies, his or her mass remains the same. Mass is the amount of matter, measured in kilograms, kg. Weight is a force that depends on gravity. P equals m multiplied by g. The unit of measurement for weight is the Newton, N. The absolute density of a substance is the ratio of its mass to its volume. C. Energy, the capacity to do work and transfer heat. Energy is the capacity to do work and or transfer heat. Work is the product of force and the distance moved. W equals F multiplied by D. The unit of measurement of work is the joule, J. A calorie is the amount of heat needed to increase the temperature of 1 gram of water from 14.5 to 15.5 degrees Celsius. 1 calorie equals 4.185 joules. The kinetic energy of an object is the energy it possesses due to its motion. The potential energy is the energy stored in an object or a system due to its position, in a force field, or due to its configuration. D. Temperature and heat. Temperature is an intensive quantity. The instruments that measure temperature are thermometers. There are 2 different thermal scales, the Celsius scale, degree Celsius, and the Kelvin scale, K. Heat is transferred from a body with a higher temperature to a body with a lower temperature. Heat depends on the quantity of matter involved and is therefore an extensive quantity. Specific heat is the amount of heat absorbed or lost by 1 gram of material during an increase or decrease of 1 degree Celsius of temperature. E. Precise and accurate measurements. The average is calculated from the sum of all the measurements divided by the number of measurements. The absolute error is equal to the difference between the maximum and the minimum measurements divided by 2. The measured value is obtained from the average value plus or minus the absolute error. The relative error is the ratio of the absolute error to the average. Relative error gives an indication of how good a measurement is, relative to the size of the thing being measured.